Welcome to E-learndriving.school, dual carriageways, enabling you to have the correct insights for private practice and/or confirm the driving instructor tuition. The definition of a dual carriageway is traffic that travels in opposite directions separated by a central reservation. Before attempting to take a learner driver onto a dual carriageway, they should have an excellent concept of cars travelling at speed, good reactions and good anticipation. Cat's eyes are helpful in the dark, bad visibility and fog. The headlights shine off them. The red lights express the left-hand side of the road to stop you drifting off the road or into the hard shoulder. Amber cat's eyes are seen on the far right side of the road to mark the central reservation, and the green cat's eyes lets you know that there is a slip road where you can exit the dual carriageway or that others may be entering to join the dual carriageway. When entering a dual carriageway on the slip road, you should get up to speed as quickly as possible, as the majority of the road users will be travelling at 70 miles an hour. You could cause difficulty to other road users if you are not at the correct speed, and when exiting, try not to reduce your speed significantly until you are on the slip road, so as not to cause an obstruction on the dual carriageway. When entering a dual carriageway on the slip road, you should get up to at least 50 or 60 miles an hour. However, when assessing the situation to make sure it's safe for you to enter the dual carriageway, you may have to alter your speed by anticipating if you are safe to pull into the road before the oncoming traffic, or if you need to slow down to pull in behind a vehicle. Not only are you looking to see what is in the lane you're pulling into, but also what is happening to the side of them and behind. If another vehicle is overtaking near the slip road, this would mean the vehicle approaching you will not be able to pull out for you to enter at the same time. And before entering into the dual carriageway, always do a blind spot check over your right shoulder, because if you are travelling at the same speed as someone on the dual carriageway and they happen to be in your blind spot, you will not see them and possibly cause an accident. The blind spot check is a must every time you enter the dual carriageway on a slip road. When on the dual carriageway, you should use the 2-second rule, which means you should be no closer to the car in front of you than 2 seconds. To establish this, when the car in front passes a stationary object, you start to count 1 and 2 and. If you have arrived at the stationary object before you have finished, you are too close. Know what is going around you at all times, check your mirrors frequently, and be able to anticipate the speed of the other vehicles to enable you to judge if you are able to pull out and overtake a slower moving vehicle. The lorry speed limit on a dual carriageway is 60 miles an hour. Therefore, if you are up to speed in this instance, you should be able to move into the dual carriageway before the lorry. Here, the dual carriageway turns into 3 lanes. Therefore, you would go into your own lane. Although you need to look what's happening around you, you will not have to move into another lane to enter the road. Signs and markings will tell you how the road is laid out. When coming off the dual carriageway, look for your exit sign. On some dual carriageway, they do not have a mile exit sign. Sometimes you only get half a mile warning, and sometimes you just get a sign just before the exit for non-major roads. Make sure you're in the left-hand lane in good time and watch out for the countdown signs if they're evident. Always signal to say that you're moving off the dual carriageway so that vehicles behind you can anticipate that you may start to slow down. As you move off the dual carriageway, you will need to reduce your speed. Be aware all types of road variations can happen when exiting the dual carriageway on the slip road. Here is an example of entering the dual carriageway at a T-junction. This particular junction, you would have to look across all 4 lanes if you were turning right and have to move into the farthest lane, as there is not enough space for a car to sit in between the 2 carriageways. Thankfully, there are not very many still around, as they can be very dangerous, as you need to be very careful about how fast other road users are going before pulling into the road, and you have no slip road to increase your speed before others get to you. If you are turning left, don't forget you will be starting from a standstill. Always make sure to leave enough room for the car behind you to see you well in advance so that they can plan to overtake you, or that you have enough room to get up to speed. In this example, and you were about to turn right, you have enough room to wait in between the 2 carriageways, so you only have to be aware of what is happening to the right before you can wait in the centre, and then look to the left to see when you can pull into the far lane, increasing your speed quickly to get up to speed. Thank you for watching. Please watch the demonstration on dual carriageways, and very much looking forward to seeing you in my next lesson.